Quick middle of the month update. I've been way too trigger happy the last, I mean, since the beginning, since I started trading again in early February. So I took a look at all my transactions today, since the 11th or around the 11th of February, and it was about 26 buys, but likely there are more than this. I lumped them together day by day, and I looked through all the setups that actually was a potential good-looking setup, and there were 23 maybe setups, because some of these I really had to twist my head to see the setup, and it was a bit of a hindsight setup. And so let's go through here what I'm saying on this Saturday in the morning. Studying my stock universe, what did I miss? Were there multiple things at the same time? Was it choppy? Was it a hindsight setup? And well, sure, it's been choppy because we're holding under the 20-day, and we have oil ripping, and gold and silver is kind of fading. But looking back, that is no excuse at all because let's see here. Since early February, potential setups, we had all these names, and I'm actually going to go through them right now, what I saw. So let's go through Wolf, which I think was a maybe setup here, but yeah, potential setup here, which was quite hard, I guess. Let's see, a bit of a tough one, but you definitely could have bought it here. Get about a 5% risk on that one. But as obviously it failed, but it was a potential good-looking setup because now I've looked through all of these names in my stock universe, and so these names are the only ones that had a potential sort of setups. So here we go. Then we have North Gold, which had a potential setup in here, and this one was a bit tougher. This one a little bit hindsight bias, but we had multiple of these like ISSC, gap up, fade, and then a tight range, and then AEHR. So it's been a bit of a yeah, this type of setup this time around. But I didn't see it, I didn't take it. But there was a potential setup here. What did I say? Not much, but I guess there was a few R to be had here. And then we have TRX, a really tough one. Potential setup here. Stopped out, so there, but it's fine. ASM, potential setup here. Potential setup, but not the best looking. Gold.com. Mm, was a tough one, but I could see this area. Would be nice if it had stayed inside here one day, because this was maybe too early to take it here. But there was a potential setup. So I mean, if I took this, I did take it. I took it multiple times. I'm saying that all of these names are would have been worth taking an attempt, even if they didn't work or if they were semi good looking, but they had something, at least something. And then ICHR. This one had, what did I say? 1 hour pre-market. Yes, was the setup on this one here. 4% risk with a little bit of slippage, but there was an area to take it. Not sure how the actual opening range was. Uh, Very wide, 7%. So I'm saying that if I see an EP and it has this pullback or flag in the after hours and pre-market, then that's the area where I want to buy it. And we'll see it further on when I look at other names that they were impossible to catch on the opening range breakout, but there was a good setup in the pre-market. Okay, light, I said potentially, but not because now I'm not counting in this period, even though this was super choppy, but there was a setup in here. But earnings this day, so that was tough. And as I said, this was a maybe setup, but this is very hindsight. I would never think to look at this as a setup. And yeah, could have gotten a few R, but you can see it wasn't the setup, which could be coming soon. But maybe attempt, maybe attempt. PDYN. This one quite solid actually really solid. Just didn't work, and I think I took one or two cuts on this one. Um, 3-min orb, and why the 3-min orb here? Let's see. Why would I not take the? It's open here. Yeah, it's a bit of a tough one. Since the pre-market wasn't good, I guess the opening range is the way to go, but obviously it did not work this time. But it was a okay attempt. Wolf, questionable. I think I'm looking at this day. It didn't even look so good at the on the 1 hour either, I think. But it was potentially something. Potentially something. Let's see here. Okay. BVEP. And this one, it closed really weak. Then it had earnings and it gapped up. But I sort of have to make some rules where if it comes from below the 20-day, then at least wait for the 1 hour to close. Here you could, hindsight, easily have bought either this entry or wait for the 15 minutes to surf the 10 here, which it sort of did here. Had a bit of a range breakout here. I'm just saying that there was an attempt. And why not buy the pre-market on this one? Let's see. Was there a pre-market on this one? Yeah, maybe, maybe. But it would have been better if this was the pre-market. You see? So it wasn't as good. The late entry was better. Easy in hindsight, but there was an area to take an attempt. KO, no, AEHR. Let's see. AEHR, and this one, I'm not sure if I bought it here. I don't think so. Let's look. 11th of February. Did I buy it? No. So I didn't attempt the gap up, and let's just take a quick look because it was above the 20-day here. Sort of nice. And how did the pre-market look like? Uh, not much, not much, unless you aggressively bought this one. But then you could say that BEV had the same setup, but no, it wasn't good. And the opening range was, yeah, no go, no go. Okay. So, but there was an attempt here. But then again, it came down and had this range, like I said with ISSC and the other name, I forgot what it was. And it had actually a really nice breakout here. And it might look a bit wide, like, okay, where's the range? Where's the entry? And here is where I would like to use the EMA reclaim, because on the hourly chart, because you find this either this day or this day, obviously, when you're looking at it. If you're seeing this here, you might be like, oh, I missed it. But if you look at the 1 hour chart, actually, this is what you would have seen right there. And yeah, so could risk the wide entry here. Just a hindsight biased. Here we go. But there was an area, or actually a quite decent setup, but I didn't take it. KOS, I actually bought here. I had tighter risk than this. I don't remember which one because I changed it, but I made about, guess not, it was 20R at the top, but I sold it for, I don't know, 15R something. But this one I actually bought, so there was an okay setup. ISSC, I said maybe setup. Yeah, it was really tough in here. Really twisting my head to say that this was a good setup. but it did work in hindsight. But not sure if I would have attempted that one. Um, CRCL, yeah, very hindsight setup. I don't think the pre-market was very good looking here. Not really. It came, yeah, pretty much like the other name that had finished the flag in the market open. But this one had a nice 3-minute orb here. Oh, it didn't. What the fuck? Or what did I say about this one? 1 hour, 15 minutes. Yeah, I guess the 50-minute was okay in hindsight, very much in hindsight, because the base wasn't that long. It's a falling name. So I think this one will be better as, I mean, it needs time. It needs time. But there was something there. AXTI had multiple setups. Let's see. Relative strength setup here, a 1 hour pullback. And then it had actually, yeah, I think this pre-market looks really nice. Yeah, it did. This pullback here to the EMAs, and you could have bought it here, 2.2%. I had another entry on it, but I'm trying to change my mind into seeing the actual breakout and not a pre-breakout, because yeah, I'll get to that later. But there was a setup here, surfed the 20-day and had earnings gapped up, and you could have bought it pre-market. The opening range was a bit too wide, I think, or maybe it would have worked. Let's see, 3 minutes. Yeah, 3 minute was 7%, not the best. But this one had a good looking pre-market, so hence why you would take an attempt on that. And then I guess, yeah, I bought it in here, and this was my average before, which was a good average. So I got into the stock and it worked, but it wasn't the ideal entry, I would say. Mm, AAOI. Remember looking at this one saying that it's a chop in name. Here, I looked at it. I'm like, what is this shit? Because I was thinking of like FLNC, maybe this trend, and it just absolutely reversed. So I was a bit hurt, I think. I didn't see it. But the thing is, yeah, sure, you missed it here, but then it had earnings and it gapped up. And look here in the pre-market. Look at the 1 hour chart here. Beautiful little 1 hour flag to take an attempt on. That's a key. Was there a valid area to take an attempt? So could easily bought it here, made a nice profit. Ampex. And here I wrote, I can't see it. Can say a lot in hindsight, but I would never ever see it as a good setup when it triggered somewhere in here. It had earnings this day, but yeah, this is truly a hindsight setup. If this flag sharing continues, that's going to be amazing, but there's no way I would have seen it here. And this gap up didn't make sense. Yeah, so, but it went higher, so there was a potential attempt to be made, but I don't see where I would have made the attempt. Fastly EP, this one the same, had a nice 1 hour base in the pre-market, which you could have tried, and quite wider risk. How was the 3 minute orb? Let's see. Here. Also a bit wider, I think, yeah. 11%. So this is why it's hard, because I've been told to wait for the 5 minute orb or a 15-minute orb or 1 minute orb, but I mean I'm not gonna catch a 1 minute, I'm not gonna catch a 2 minute, but the 3 minute is okay. But if you look at many of these names, they had like 11% orb. So that's why I'm saying these pre-market setups, when they come, look really tempting. Did not buy this one. I bought it in here, I think, but it got stopped out. Doesn't matter, but there was an attempt to be made. VG. And here's why I'm saying that Circle and VG is like, this one, let's see. Yeah, it was a tough one, really tough one. But it stopped you out eventually, so. But there was something there, an attempt to be made obviously, if you bought it here and it somehow held because it stopped out the lows and they gapped up the next day to here, you'd be very happy, but it stopped out. So it just wasn't time. But an attempt to be made, yeah, sure. Mm, BNAI. And yeah, here, this one I also bought and I sold it at top of this day. Um, Anyhow, the actual setup, I mean, I zoomed in a lot on, or not a lot, but on the 1 hour chart. But I mean, just only looking at this tight day here, and then I mean, you literally only have to connect these lines in the beginning and wait for it to break, which it did here. There are many ways to attack this if you mark it by the above this day, or if you wait for some kind of orb or pullback or whatever. I got this one, luckily, before, but there are many ways to tackle it. If you, and this is also the thing because it's scary to buy the 3 minute opening range, and here it was a 4% opening range, actually held. You were very close to stopping out here. It was 1 penny away, but it did hold. And same next day, the gap up actually held. So it is scary to take these very fast, and you're like, oh my God, is this the place? But when the time is when it's time, you have to press the trigger, and we will get to that on the next name. Anyhow, I caught this one. How you would have caught it the best way, you can take it many ways. And Battle is the one that really fucked me over this month or this last week or so because let's go to the daily. Let's see here. Because I chopped myself up in this area. In this area, you see. And like I mentioned before, I bought it in here, stopped out. I bought it again here, stopped out on this wick, and then I think I thought this was a breakout, or no, I think this here. I was like, oh my God, this area. So I was finding some entry in here, but got stopped out, and then it gapped up. Once it finally gapped up, once it actually, you know, sure, could you have made some sort of attempt in here because it broke this 1 hour range? Yeah, you got stopped out, but there's literally no volume here. Look at the actual candle of the breakout. Now that's a breakout. And here I was so tired, so mentally exhausted that I think 15 minutes prior to this candle closing, I was like, oh fuck, I'm signing out. It was Friday at 17:13 and mentally exhausted because I'm not only sitting in front of a computer at the market open, I'm sitting around the clock looking at charts. And after taking 3 attempts on this one, I was completely tilted and I thought like, this is now too high. I can't buy it here. But the thing is, just like on BNAI, when they go, the actual setup, you have to take an attempt or two or three. Because I took 3 attempts in here, but then I did not take an attempt in here. And this was a very costly mistake because this would have been like 20% on the accounts had I taken this attempt in this one trade. Um, so let's see. Could never have imagined what this would do. I mean, I guess I had my imaginary lines above here at 42, 115, and 300 uh, as like a crazy scenario, and we might go there. Who knows? Who knows? Uh, but big gap up from under 10 EMA. Okay, so that's was my thinking. It came from under. You gotta wait for the close, and then you can either buy the 1 hour pullback or the 15-minute surf on the trend line here, which hindsight, yes, but this is the area to take an attempt. Even take the wide risk if you don't dare to risk this and then buy it. I guess you kept up. Hindsight warrior, right? But I didn't take it here. I didn't take it here. I was so tired and I left for the evening on that Friday because I wanted to visit a friend. and that cost me a lot. Um, and the worst part. Oh, okay, let's continue this on RXT potentially after earnings. Then I said, nah, there was nothing there. NBISEP, which I'm now in. We'll see if it holds. Could potentially be something. Have a good risk here. Okay. Then I said, lol, bro, is this everything? 23 maybe setups. Because remember, the indexes have been going down ever since I opened up this IBKR broker here. Indexes have been going down since the 12th of February, 11th. So sure, I could be like, oh, boo-hoo me, the market is bad. But in reality, there were 23 amazing, not amazing setups. Let's say half of these were really good setups. But even if you took all of them, let's say you took them twice. Okay, so let's say you took 50 attempts on these 23 maybe setups. Why do I have 26 buys? And out of these 26 buys, there are more because I got tilted on a battle in the second range. Uh, I'm gonna talk about it later, but I bought the dip, I sold it, and I wanted to buy back, but this dip happened in pre-market, so I didn't get back in, and then came up. I chopped myself to death in here, and not only that, I widened my stops, so took bigger risk, and in some attempts I did not take the stop at all. I fucking held it because I was so tilted because this thing acted so ugly according to me, but it's just range bound. There's nothing here yet. This bounce is kind of the only one that's a little bit okay as a mean reversion trade. Anyhow, let's continue. Okay, out of 23 maybe setups, and I really twisted my eyes to see something in some names, but you had 80 plus attempts, of which you gave back, of which some you gave back multiple R's due to slippage, stubbornness, and tilt. You are now in the red again, not by much, and you could say it's the market, but in reality, there have been a few select very good setups which easily could have put you in the green by 20% on the account during this period because I was up 15% on this day here. I was up 15% on the account with all my AXTI, KOS, and BNAI. I'm not sure if I had anything else, but I was up 15% on the account. But I quickly gave that back. I got tilted so bad. And that's why I'm making this, because I have to really be honest with myself. Anyhow, mm, easily been up 20% on the account in this period, if not more. And I'm gonna make this quite a long one because I'm gonna go through all of these. Okay, on the daily. PRZO. This one I bought. Wait, I'm actually in this one. Okay, I bought it this day here. Not because it was a great breakout setup. I was more thinking that because there's some news about I don't know, contract, and I was looking at the base, and I'm like, okay, if I can get in from this 120 area and risk the lows here, it could be a good starter. We will see. I mean, for now it holds. So I think that's valid, although it's a very small name otherwise, but this day had some nice volume. Battle. Okay, apparently I bought it on the 13th. Hmm. Oh yeah, because I had bought it this day as well on the 11th here, and I wanted to add more, but yeah, it's tilting and in the middle of the range, doing what the fuck? I don't know why. TLYS, what was this? Okay. Mm -hmm, mm -hmm, mm -hmm. What did I see here? It's coming from there. What did I buy? I guess I front ran the opening range. Interesting. Yeah, this, oh man, it's so good to look at this. I front ran the opening range because I was like, oh, it's gonna go, because some of these names have exploded in the at the open, like this one, which I looked at in pre-market, but I didn't buy here. It literally just exploded up. So this was the day before, so I was a bit tilted for this one because I looked at it in pre-market. I said, nah, what is this? But the data looked actually really good. But quite low volume name, actually really low volume name, just 100Ks. Anyhow, TLYS, that's why I took it, but front running if the pre-market doesn't look good and you front run the open range, then that's a no-no. Okay, Fly I bought apparently. Was the pre-market good? Pre-market was not good. Okay, I guess pre-market was perhaps okay, but it came up into the open. So maybe attempt what was the opening range. The opening range triggered and then failed. If you bought the pullback, yeah, it failed anyhow, so it didn't work. But I think it was I was thinking of circle when I looked at this one. So, but this one is a bit lower volume. Still okay. It was a decent try, so that's fine. Let's actually make it a decent try. What did I say about this one? I said minus TLYS was no good. NBIS. Yeah, so how did I treat this one? 1 hour looked shit, so I think how about the opening range? Okay, I think I bought this twice. I bought a opening range and then I added on the pullback, but the 3-minute opening range actually was 2.8%. So that's a very decent candle to risk. And not the best, would prefer more time, but it could very well just like here, consolidate and go higher. So I think this was a good attempt. How about TPET? What is this? On which day? 12th. Yeah. What are you doing, bro? What are you doing? What are you doing? Yeah, because I've been looking way too much at candle reclaims, but I'm gonna get to that later. But I can only use it at very specific areas when the daily is already perfect. So was nothing here. So this was let's just put a minus, minus, minus. And the battle again, I know this was a minus serve. This day right here. Okay, so it came from under, should wait for the 1 hour chart. Okay, 1 hour chart, not really, because after 2 hours or 1 hour, 1 or 2 hours, you're gonna have, you wanna reclaim this 10 and 90 area. So if you wanna zoom in, let's see, can you reclaim the 1090 area? It's above this area. So it kind of surfed here and triggered a few times, but in reality, this is the area you want to reclaim. And since it came from under, I don't think looking at but we can still do that just as an experiment. But the pre-market looked shit on the 1 hour chart. I'm gonna lower the pan here. Okay. Okay, so the 1 hour was nothing. But I took an attempt. Not sure. Let's see the 3 minutes. Yeah, not so good 3-minute opening. So, and this is scary. This is now when you're gonna try to buy a short pullback or something. I'm not sure where I bought this one, honestly, but just as a new rule, if the pre-market looks shit and it's coming from below, here's the daily, here below the 20-day, then you have to wait for the 1 hour to take it. So, yeah, I'd say it's a minus. Wasn't very solid. CV CVGI. Yeah, I think I didn't take it. I took it on a pullback and stopped out. So I don't know. I would say if you waited for the actual 1 hour would have worked. I think I wanted to get in with a tight entry, so I bought it in here somewhere on a lower time frame, on 50 minutes probably. Let's just take a look at it because it's super interesting. Yeah, I think I bought it in here, but nah. Hindsight maybe. Let's put a R minus 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 on it. TMDE. And here as well, I'm trying to get in all these energy and oil names, but I'm not doing it on a proper setup, which this was 11th, so even day prior here inside this day. Yeah, I don't know. Minus minus. And this again, no, 11th. Oh yeah, because this was my ad, so this is put an R on it. TPET, mm, TPET on the 11th inside this candle. So yeah, it's not even a green day. It's not on support. It's just hovering. I'm just trying to get in size to all these names because likely in my head, without knowing it, I want to make back all my tilt losses on battle. So I'm tilting even more, trying anything to get in size, hoping for, that one big trade, which is fucking horrible. TPET, so this is minus, there's nothing here. RCAT. Um, this one I kind of bought on thinking of this range right here, but it's super wide. So I think, I don't know what happened. I bought it as a starter for this earnings, hoping for this to just cruise up here and then gap up. Um, might work, might not work. The range was not very beautiful. We will see what happens. I think it's a okay setup, thinking of, ISSC in here and AHR in here, and that third name I don't remember. So with those in mind, and this being one of the strongest names in with a big solid base, could be a true market leader coming up with this nice increasing volume. So that's why I took an attempt. So I think that's an R minus. Not sure what the R stands for, but plug. Plug. Yeah. Where did I buy it? Plug 11. Inside this day. Here I'm trying my 1 hour reclaim. I think it was this candle. Yeah, this candle. And for a while it felt a bit good because I was like, oh, this one can, if this is an X leader, it can make a huge move. Huge move. So I was like, oh, this is like 200R, amazing. But yeah, there was nothing here. There was nothing here. I guess R minus minus minus, ICHR. On the 11th did I buy it. Also, this one is interesting because here it was the 1 hour reclaim setup, but the thing is, this is where I have to change this approach. If this were to gap up here, then I could market buy the opening, risking that candle low. That's the idea I have to change. I cannot buy this random things pre-breakout because I was thinking of BV and what else? There was something else, but I don't remember. ICHR. So the area was okay if it had gapped up the next day or stayed inside here one more day. It was an okay attempt, but this attempt was nothing, which is minus. ASTI, same here, candle reclaim on this day above the 20-day, but there's nothing here. It was stupid. Minus minus. TPET again on the 9th. I don't know what the fuck. Probably some kind of dip buy. Shit, absolute shit. Battle again. You can see my tilt tilt period on the 9th. Same here. Probably. No, I think I. Let's see. Let's see. What did I see? Yeah, I probably thought that this range was going, and I didn't want to wait for a, let's see, the ninth. Yeah. I mean, if you were really stressed about missing this, then yeah, okay, maybe this was an attempt here. But thing with this one is that I did not take my stop, so I tilted. I tilted. I tilted. It was my not even. No, it was a fucking minus. Talk. This one I didn't really understand. I held it. It didn't stop me out. I just sold it because it had a nice range, and then it gapped up on this volume. But this volume was sort of a buyout, and then this weird price action after. And I just thought of the. I just looked at perhaps something like this. I mean, it just gaps up, sideways, gaps down. So I don't know. Maybe it's gonna go higher and work, but I don't wanna. I don't understand this price action, so I sold it. So I don't know. Maybe R minus 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 Mobex. Where did I buy this? Probably some sixth. Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess it was. Hmm. Maybe I even. No, actually, I think I bought it but sold it and then it ripped and I felt so awful. But so I mean, this 1 hour flag is actually okay, but I really don't wanna be, that type of a trader. But maybe, so I would say R minus 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 battle again. Let's see what we found here on the sixth. Oh, I bought it again. So I'll probably. Oh, okay, here. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, I was so tilted from missing this setup because it was so huge because I identified it. I identified the stock, and since I got chopped up and I didn't take this, then it would have made me a big chunk of my portfolio higher. I was so tilted that I just was like, oh, it's gonna go now, it's gonna go now, it's gonna go now. Look at the volume, it's gonna go. So I probably bought it here and probably took a stop or two stops and or didn't sell it at all. I really fucking tilted, and but this one, no, it's nothing here. Maybe if yeah, because I'm on the 15 minute now, and the range is horrible. I have to be at least the daily chart. And like I said prior, the only setup, if you missed this one, the only setup here was this one, the bounce. All of this, nah, avoid it. And then Turb, yeah, on the sixth, I don't know what the fuck this is. Um, Likely bought the gap up somehow, I don't know. But no, I don't see it. Turb, same here. I'm spamming these oil names because wait, Turb. Oh no. And PDYN, this one was actually a good attempt. And I love going through this. I'm gonna look back at this episode 1,000 times just to realize how fucking stupid I am. And also to remind myself how things look or should look. So, really nice base inside of a huge base. Has been a previous momentum leader. So it had its gap up on earnings. Let's just take a look at the pre-market. So the pre-market looked quite shit, I guess, 9%. Okay, so then I would, if I wanted to buy it, I would likely buy the, because it's coming from a range, so it can literally fly. So let's look at the 3 minutes on PDYN. The 3 minute was actually good. Look at this, 4.2%, and it worked. Enough volume for me. So this one would have been up 3.5R, and then it stopped you out, obviously. Didn't work. So here's a question which I also looked at. When they go, they don't come back. I mean, okay, so let's look at the 1 hour here. Once you get, I mean, at least, at least put your stop here. At least. Hindsight warrior. But so the setup was actually really nice. On the 5th. Why did I buy it on the 5th? Wait. Oh, okay, so I took this one was good, I think. This one was minus. on the 5th. Okay, I think I thought I missed it, so I probably bought, you know, somewhere here, risking the lows, then got stopped out. So the first attempt was very valid. The second attempt was a FOMO buy. So yeah, then MobX again on the 5th. On the 5th, what is it here? Nope, 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 nope. MobX. Or okay, let's be honest with yourself. Look on the 5th, like I said, inside this day. Yeah, you probably looked at this candle reclaim, which actually held. So I probably, yeah, I have no idea what I did here. I have no idea. Probably bought it and then you sold it simply because I thought, nah, it's not going to work. Didn't want to hold it overnight, probably. So, I mean, maybe on Mobex R minus minus minus. But then I guess this one I have no idea what it was. So let's do minus 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 on this one. Actually, no, let's do R minus 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 because it did actually work on the tight time frames here. Because, oh yeah, I've bought it first here and then it gapped up and then I bought it but sold it again and then it ripped and that's the story of that stock. So I guess it was okay, but not anything I really want to focus on. Let's see here. MBTS. Okay, bro, where did you buy this one? 5. Oh God. Yeah, this is me like, oh, look at this range. It can make a big move. I really want to get in. It's kind of like plug, kind of like in here. So I'm trying to front run the actual setup. Was there anything here? If anything, no. No, I had to stay here for one more day and then perhaps if you took out this 944. But this, what is this? I think I looked at, oh, it reclaimed the 20-day. So I risked that candle hoping for it to come back into range. So here's why I've made such a mistake. I looked at all the winners and I said, oh my God, look, you could simply buy the 1 hour reclaim and it works. But man, there are probably 95 failed 1 hour reclaims before it actually breaks out. So gonna save myself the trouble of buying this kind of shit and actually wait for, an actual breakout and then buy that. You're gonna save yourself so much trouble. So this one, uh, 2 attempts. Okay. What? On the 5th and the 6th. Man, I have no idea what I did here. So you can see I'm. Oh wait, PDYN. We are at NBTS. So minus minus minus. Battle. Let's go on the 4th. On the 4th. All right, those are my dip buys in here. So that was actually a decent trade, although I was a bit. It worked in hindsight, and I was ready to hit out, but I let it slide a little bit because I had 2 buys. I had one buy at like. Wait, what is this? Hmm, I have to change that. Okay. Um, anyhow, I bought it in here, and then I sold it 20, 21s or 20 point something. Yeah. And then I talked about how I wanted to buy it back here, and that dip happened in the pre-market, and I got so tilted that fuck, I missed it, and yeah, you can see it here. I bought it in here, sold it in here, wanted to buy back in this area, but it happened in the pre-market, and then it gapped up to my sell area, and I'm like, oh my God, I missed it, and I was gonna go without me, blah 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 boo. But anyhow, this entry again, I slipped my stop a little bit, but it worked. So it was a wait, 5 and 4, 5 and 4. I have no idea. This on the fourth was a good attempt. It was an R minus because um, let's stop slide slightly. But it was a very big trade for me. So I mean, it was a bad trade because I let the stop slide. And this one I have no idea what it was. XTI on the fourth, I think it was, wait, 4th of March was my dip ad in here. Yeah, I'll talk about this trade because I bought it on this candle right here, and then I bought more here, and then I held it up here, didn't sell anything, and it gapped down, and I think I added more in this area since I was so much in profit. And then I sold half. I literally top ticked half my size here, and then it came down again to this area where I was like, oh, I just bought here and sold here. I'll just buy back my full size in this area, risking now this candle. And yeah, eventually I just hit out in this area. So nice profit on that one. But but the ads, yeah, I don't know. I'll just R minus my minus lunar on which day? 4th of March. Why would you bite in here, bro? Are you stressed out, motherfucker? I think my idea, although it's not really similar, but I was thinking of Cecil, I think, in here. But it's not really the same. Anyhow, Lunar took many cuts on this one. So this attempt here on the 4th, on the day. I mean, if anything, you should have waited for the next day to break here. So this was a minus. No idea. The fourth. Oh, I guess I bought the gap up and it failed. Not really a good setup here. I don't even wanna zoom in on that one. So I'll say minus. XTI was the ad. I'll just say R minus minus. Rhyme on the 3rd. Mm, yeah, it was an okay attempt. I was thinking of DFDV on this day right here, but this one was much more clean, and the 1 hour price action in here was a lot better to take it. 1, 2, 3, shake out on the 20-day. Yeah, okay. And here could either buy the green to red or the 1 hour reclaim in this hindsight example, but that was my idea. Rhyme. Oh my god, what is this shit? Mm, I guess I bought it here somewhere. I don't know. Not the best attempt. But there was perhaps something there, but not good. Atom on the 3rd. On the 3rd, yeah, here's my shitty ass entry, bro. Yeah, likely this candle, and you can already see the problem here, which I'm gonna stop doing that. So minus minus because the actual range. I mean, if literally if anything, where could you have drawn whatever you? Oh, what is this? I mean, there's not really nothing here. Perhaps, yeah. Now I'm twisting my head very much for this one. But if anything, yeah. So this range never broke. Okay, so nothing there. Battle again on the 3rd of March. Oh, okay. I think I took a very stupid flag breakout in here or here somewhere. No, it must have been here because I stopped up before this gap down. Thank Lord. Minus minus. I'm not gonna chase a 1 hour flag up 600%. Rhyme again, man, I don't know, it's a minus on that one. TRX on the daily charts. Second on this day. Yeah, decent attempt. Didn't work, so I would say R minus gold.com. On which day? 27th. Yeah, I mean, not the best, but R minus ASM on which day? 27th here. Yeah, again, not the best. Not the best, but I can see what I saw. Although I did not take it as a breakout here, I took it as a 1 hour reclaim down here and added. Again, hindsight warrior, could you have drawn this trend line instead? Right here. So it didn't work, it didn't work. I would say it's an R minus. Again, I have no idea what R means. Um, which day was this? 27th. Inside here, okay. Yeah. I mean, again, trying to front run, if anything. No, nothing here. Okay, could you bought the actual gap up? Let's see. Daily came from under, so wait for the 1 hour charts. 1 hour chart was here. Okay, so at the lows, perhaps you could made an attempt. So yeah, I would say R minus minus minus. Rhyme again. Man, I took so many attempts on this shit. 27th. What? Mm, yeah, likely some. Actually, let's see. Did I use the 15-minute or did I use? No, I have no idea. 27th. I have no idea. No idea. Could perhaps have thought this was a trailed buy and I bought it here, risking this candle. Perhaps, I don't know. That was shit. Absolute shit. Absolute shit. AXT on the 26th, which was my first attempt, I think, in here. No, 26th. It was my ad on the bottom of this day here. So, I mean, solid ad in hindsight, but should I really be adding size randomly? Maybe, maybe not. I would say minus OBAI 26th. I think the pre-market had a nice range on this one, but I would say very much like that. EOS, where did I buy this one? 26th. Oh, thank God I'm not in it. Oh, okay. I bought a dip here, I guess, some kind of a range break, hoping to take it up, but it didn't work. So, in another world, could it have worked? I don't know. These names that just die are kind of, oh, okay, yeah, yeah. But this one gapped down how much? 80%. Because this one I had a nice trade on. So I think I had the same thing in mind. But how much? 30, 40. Yeah, it was a, I guess, decent attempt. But and rhyme again. What the fuck? How much did I waste on this shit? I'm just gonna put minus in all of these because what the fuck are you doing, bro? 26th. Okay. Hmm. Did it close? Yeah, okay, so it reclaimed. I bought it on the day, on the 26th. Second, 26th. Yeah, I think I bought this candle here. But then again, not even close to breaking out, so took a cut and then I didn't buy this one. So here's what I'm saying. I gotta stop exhausting myself in the middle of the fucking range, like ugh, and give attempts on the actual, breakouts, obviously. So this one was shit. SGML 26th. Did I go through this one? SGML. Hmm. Or maybe I talked about it up here as a potential sub. I have no idea. Huh. Oh well. SG. Oh, 02. Yeah, February. Yeah, probably shit. But I thought, oh, here, 27th. I took 2 tries on this shit, and it didn't even break the range. There was a possible 1 entry, but I'm just trying to get in cheap, which getting in cheap is never good. Minus PDYN on the 25th. Of February. Coming from a really wide candle. I don't know. Bro, what are you doing? Let's just take a look at the 1 hour charts. Probably some candle reclaim foam with that. It's gonna go without me. Yeah. Not a good attempt. Not really a good attempt. But I understand why I felt FOMO buying something like this when, again, this one had just gone from a wide candle, but they had sort of a range. So I can understand my thinking, but it wasn't good. Let's put it as R minus, super bad. And battle on 25th. Yay, I wish I had my shares from the 25th. 600%, bro. Oh my God, with like 1.4% risk or something like that. But again, why am I wasting my time within the range when you could simply have bought the actual gap up? Interesting, 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 super interesting. So, minus. CRVV on 25th. I don't know why I would buy it on the day. Probably some let's see. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, bro. Oh, wait. 25th. I think this is one of those getting cheap entries. 25th. Yeah, I think I had this candle in mind. And I have to stop thinking this way, really stop thinking this way. And I probably bought some BPR risk in the lows, gap downs. I instantly sold on the gap down. So, but it was a shit entry. Lunar 25th on the 25th. Oh, right. This was dangerous. I wrote it in because I probably had a buy previous to the 25th, right? Wait, what? Lunar 25. What? That's weird. Oh, right. Right. I bought it pre-market. What the fuck? Because I know that it gapped down on me. But then I actually bought more and sold the bounce, which is I wrote it on that day. It worked this time, but never fucking do it. It wasn't much size, but it was still a very bad habit. Should never ever do that. So I don't know. I mean, if I had given it an attempt on the 24th, then perhaps you could argue that it was a valid attempt, which I think I did. So I don't know what happened here. And OBA, yeah, it was pre-market. It was pre-market. Yeah. OBAI again on the 25th. Yeah, I don't know, bro. Arquette on the 24th. Mm, okay attempt if you think of maybe BE. But on the 24th, this day right here. I don't know, bro. Let's say you thought that was a good entry. How did it look? Stupid fuck. Where's the breakup, bro? Could you have made a case on this day, 25th? Yeah, on the 24th, likely candle reclaim, stupid shit. Minus minus, battle on the 24th. 24th. Yeah, it was in here, got stopped out. So, yeah, minus. I mean, after the shakeout, I guess it was an okay attempt to get in cheap, but that led to me not taking the actual setup, so that's bad. Fastly on the 24th. On the 24th. All right, I remember this one. On the 24th. I bought a candle reclaim in here, stopped me out. And again, should not even think like this because that makes me not buy the actual setup. But I think I bought this candle, which I mean could have worked really well, didn't work in another world maybe, I don't know. And that's the thing. I mean, I got into Axti with that thinking, buying a candle reclaim, but the actual setup was here. The actual setup was here. I should not be trying this because, I mean, sure, this attempt in hindsight it worked, but why did I not try it here? Why did I not try it here? Yeah, so really have to get that thinking out of my head. Fastly, what did I say was a bad attempt? PDYM. Again, what the fuck? PDYM. Man, I'm throwing away money, so how I'm even flat on the month is crazy. Uh, no, I would say that's a pretty shitty attempt. Likely BNAI. On the 23rd. Yeah, this was my, again, here I treated it differently because I didn't dare to buy the actual gap up because I was too afraid to take the stop. But as I mentioned earlier, both this gap up and this gap up, the 3 minute opening range high actually held. It actually held. Now I got in with a great size, more than this, I think, actually. Uh, but I got in here and then in the pre-market here. So hindsight, it worked, but I have to buy it when the moment is to buy it. So I mean, R minus minus minus. I mean minus gold gold.com. Which day? 23rd. 23rd. On the 23rd. Oh, okay. I mean, I guess so. I think it was an okay attempt. I understand what I saw here. I saw like we broke this pivot and then we broke it again. So I think it was an okay, maybe R minus minus S&P on the 23rd. On the 23rd. On the 23rd, what the fuck? Probably some candle reclaim in here. But if anything, the attempt should have been on in this day. So this one is bad. XTI 23rd was here. So hindsight worked, but it was not a good trade because the actual setup was here and here. This pullback, I mean, in the strongest leaders, if you missed the first great entry, perhaps, but this is not the area I should be looking at, so that's why it's an R minus. Battle was my first ad on the 20, no wait, 20th. It was my first attempt on the 15-minute chart. I remember it because I bought this candle here on the 20th, yeah, and that was up 10R and then it stopped me out here. Anyhow, I'm zooming in so much. Why don't you just fucking wait, bro? Why don't you wait? So bad gold.com on the 20. Man, how many tries did I take on this one? Crazy. Okay, I see. Yeah, I took it this day and this day. Crazy. I don't know, I'll say minus. Or perhaps R minus, minus, minus. Wolf on the 20th. Probably a candle pullback, but even if you risked the lows, you would have been stopped out. So it was a tough one. Likely, was there any sort of range here? Yeah, the only thing you should be buying is here in this one. So no, it's not good. Minus minus CRVV on the 19th. 19th here this day. Yeah, I mean, okay, my thinking was that because I had earnings a few days later, my thinking was that it could just go up here and then earnings gap up. So I think I had a starter, wanted to buy more, but in the end I just took a cut on it. So again, this is the thing. I'm trying to front run the setup, which never came. I'm scared to take an attempt on the actual day because apparently I haven't studied enough. So I tried to get in prior to the setup. I have to get that thinking out of my head. It's a minus KOS on the 19th. Here, good attempt, nice range, showed relative strength to the market, gapped up, I bought it, and it works. It was good. It's very good. PNAI on the 19th. I think I took a stop, I guess. Or no, I took it's an ad. It's R minus minus minus. It worked, but it's not the thing I should be looking at. EV on the 19th. Yeah, here again, trying some fucking dip buy on the 19th. Shit. Absolute fucking shit. TRX on the 19th. Likely 1 hour reclaim in here. Again, not good. Not good. Worked for a while. I raised my stop to break even, so I got stopped out. So, I mean, no, the entry itself was bad because I should not have looked at it. STI on the 18. Oh my God, this, I don't think it was a. Hmm. Yeah, it was so aggressive. So this one also kind of tilted me because it had this, I mean, 100%, 100%, and 100%. So I was a bit aggressive on it, but I don't know. I would say it's a very, probably very minus. SGML on the 18th. Yeah, okay, it's okay setup. I probably not how I handle it, but no matter how I handle it, I would have been stopped out. So I think that was an okay setup. Or minus maybe. No, actually, let's make it an R. No, R minus. ATRO on 18th. On the 18th. Yeah, I think I bought it not as an actual breakout, but an 1 hour reclaim. And then I sold it because I got tired of it. Just a short moment later, it went higher, and I thought, oh, I missed it. But here you can see it's a slow stock that you shouldn't touch. It had one hit wonder here for 40%. Nothing I should trade. It's a slow stock, so it was a good area, but how I didn't buy the breakout, so it was a shitty TRX on the 18th. Yeah, this one solid, I guess. Oh, I guess the second one was an ad. So I bought and then raised stop to break even. So this attempt was actually probably good. Let's look at the 1 hour chart in there. Yeah, I see what I saw. Um, and it held, so it was an okay area. Just didn't work. So let's, but probably not how I handle it. Probably handle it somehow else. Gold again. Holy shit, bro. 18. 18 on this day. What the fuck? Yeah. What the fuck, bro? Better on the 18th. Mm, hmm. Yeah, I was hoping for this one to just rip higher, but mm, yeah, I don't know. I would say very R minus minus. BV on the 18th. Man, I'm so trigger happy. You can see, wait, on the 18th. Wait, oh, January. Here, this day. Yeah, it was an okay attempt, I would say. I can see why I wanted to give it an attempt here. Uh, not the best. Really not the best. But an okay area, but I would say minus minus. LAC on the 17th. Hmm, January. Wait, what? What is this? Okay, I guess my thinking was that. Oh yeah, because there was some lithium news. I don't know what there was, but I just remember because it took out. Oh no, it didn't take out this low, but it took out this low, and not sure how I bought it, but I was thinking of perhaps CRML in here, and which other ones? Yeah, there were a few more, but so I guess an okay area, but not the best. Not the best. So R minus minus. Okay, so let's take a look at anything with an R is an okay attempt. I can see why. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37. Okay, 37 maybe attempts. Okay, so we can clearly do the math here. I'm not going to do the math, but you can see that I had 80 plus, because again, these are not really correct, but 80 plus buy transactions in 23 maybe setups. I can see why I would have attempted 37 of these. So I can remove 50% out of these buys. I can remove 50% out of those buys. So it's the same problem as last time. But this is great. I love this. This is going to be maybe not the quickest one. I have no idea how long I sat here, but this is so good for me to see. I need to have this documented and look at it every time I go on tilt or feel stressed or FOMO or buying bad setups. I have to go back and really see the math on this. Um, but that's it. I looked at everything, so we'll see what happens in a few weeks when I do the end of month update. Ciao.